Hi, I'm Gina with Peace, Love, and Homeschool, and today is another episode of Reading Between the Lines. Hi and welcome to my channel. Yes, today is another episode of Reading Between the Lines. It's our last book of the year. The book is called Secrets of Flight. Now before we jump into that, let's take care of all the housekeeping. This Reading Between the Lines collaboration is hosted by the group YouTube Collaborators over on Facebook, and it is organized by Ingrid from Mommy Mia Homeschool Chronicles. Please check out her channel. She is a voracious reader. And also there's a playlist I'll link right up here. It's the Reading Between the Lines playlist of all the books that we have talked about this year. We've had some really great books this year, and I've really enjoyed getting back into reading through this group. It's been a great help in getting me back on track. I'm still a bit slow in the reading department. I have too many hobbies. I'm convinced that's the problem now, because I'm reading no problem. Now it's just that I have too many things I want to do. I can't fit it all in my schedule. So I'm working hard at least at this group to keep at least the one book every couple of months. Why don't we just move on to the questions for the book. Okay, so the book that we read for this month is called Secrets of Flight by Maggie Leffler. And I believe Maggie Leffler is a doctor, and she's a younger, so not too young, but like in her 30s maybe. I found that pretty interesting for some reason. So she is not only a doctor, but she's an author. So I don't even know if I can tell you exactly what this book was about. There was so much packed into this book. I started reading it sometime in late September, and I read it like in a couple of days. I'm not kidding you. It just held my attention, captivated me and held my attention that much. Okay, so this book is told in alternating viewpoints. You have your elderly woman named Mary, and you have your young teenager named Elise. Mary is a woman with secrets in her past that she does not let anybody know about, and it's just slowly revealed throughout the book. But basically, she was a World War II fly girl. They flew here in America. They did not go overseas to help protect our borders. Elise is a young girl in high school, just going through, she's also an author. So, and Mary is an author and Elise is an author. And they meet at a writing club. So Elise joins the writing club, and Mary hires Elise to write her memoirs. So, and then from there, the story just takes off, told from World War II up to present day and everything in between. So the first question is, what did you like best about this book? And what I liked best is the alternating storyline. For some reason, I loved that. That just held my attention. I looked forward going back and forth to the different stories. The second question is, what did you like least about this book? The profanity in this book was what I truly liked least about it. It just ruined the book for me, and I really wanted to quit. But by the point that the profanity came in, I had been sucked into the storyline. I also read this book via Audible instead of an actual physical book, so that played a lot into it. It just grabbed my attention. So I kind of just kept sticking it out, hoping that there wouldn't be too much profanity in it. There was also a storyline involving teenage sex, which just completely was a big turnoff, and it just left me with like an ick factor. I don't know, it didn't feel it was necessary for the story. It just didn't help the book in any way. In fact, I feel like it really hurt the book. She could have done that in a different way without, going there. Another storyline in the book that I completely hated was when Elise was caught in her mother's, I think it was like her office. I don't know. I can't remember if it was her office or closet or something, but it was like her little office in her room. And her mom and dad came home, and she wasn't supposed to be in there, so she just was quiet and stayed in the dark. And she overheard her mom and dad talking about marital infidelity and just adult topics and, you know, the problems they have between them. And I don't know, as a parent, I would have died with that conversation. I know that's something that could happen in real life, but I just did not like that part of the story at all. One thing that really kind of frustrated me was that I was getting ready one morning while I was listening to the book, and my son happened to pop in to get his brush and talk to me and everything, and he got pulled into the book as well, and he really wanted to listen to the story. It held his attention, and I just said, you know, until I read the whole book, I don't really want you reading this with me. And sure enough, you know, the profanity kicked in and everything. I just really didn't want him reading this. Just didn't feel it would be appropriate for him. But gosh, this could have been such a great story for young people. And I know young people will probably read it anyways, but I as a parent wouldn't let my child or teenager read this book. Number 3 is share a quote for this book, and why did this quote stand out? There were a few quotes I marked in Audible, but for some reason they didn't take, so I don't remember what they are. So I don't really have a quote to share at this time. Sorry. Number 4 is, would you read another book by this author, and why or why not? Probably not. If she's putting profanity and inappropriate content to me, according to my standards, in this book, what's going to be in her other books? So I just don't know if I'd want to take that chance again. She's a good writer, but I just don't think I want to be reading that kind of book. I have overlooked profanity in other books before, but when it comes to F-bombs, I'm just not a fan. Not a fan at all. Number 5 is, what feeling did this book evoke for you? And my feelings were all over the place on this book. Just listening to Mary's story and all that she went through, becoming a fly girl, that was her dream. And she did it. She became a fly girl. And then she also had hardships in her life as well. Then watching Elise go through the hardships that she was going through with her family, her parents, and their marital problems. Then the pressure she was under with this boy from school. That's just a lot. That's a lot for a kid to go through, and it just made me sad to think about that. And then the surprise at the end. We kind of saw it coming, but we didn't know the whole extent of it, and it was just a heartwarming ending the way it worked out. Number 6, would you recommend this book? No, not really. Being that there was profanity in it, it's just not something I normally read, so I don't feel that if I wouldn't read it, I wouldn't want to recommend it to someone else. The only reason I continued reading it was because, like I said before, I was hooked, and I stuck with it hoping that it would redeem itself. I really did. And then before I knew it, I had finished the whole book. I mean, like in a day or two, it was just done. I couldn't stop reading the book. It was pretty intense, and this book could have been such a great book if they had just left certain parts out and all the F-bombs out. Number 7, what new things did you learn? I think I was never very good at history. I always hated history growing up, so a lot of the history I know now I've learned from homeschooling my own kids, but I never heard about the World War II fly girls, so that was pretty interesting bit of information that I learned there. And, you know, I never thought about the Jewish people coming over here and changing their names to protect themselves. It's just not something I thought about, so that was something that was brought to my attention as well. Number 8 is, what questions do you still have? The book wrapped things up pretty well. No questions. I was not left feeling like I needed to know more. Number 9, did the book change your opinion or perspective anything? And do you feel different after reading the book? No, not really. No, I don't feel any difference there. And number 10, what surprised you most about the book? And I would have to say the ending. Well, yes and no. You kind of saw it coming. There was a lot of foreshadowing, but it didn't reveal everything. So I knew what was coming in a way, but then they revealed everything, and there was more to it than what I thought. So I just thought it was a really great ending, very heartwarming, but not perfect. Not that perfect fairy tale ending where everything worked out okay, but it was a good ending. And that is the last question for this book. This is our last book of the year, and I do look forward to next year's book club that we'll be doing. I'm not sure what book we'll be reading next, so you'll need to come back and check us all out to find that information out. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to look at the playlist and visit Ingrid's channel and check out YouTube Collaborators if you have a channel or if you're thinking of starting a channel. It would be very helpful and beneficial to you. I've learned so much through YouTube Collaborators, and I've met a lot of neat people, and it's just been a very helpful group to me. So I don't know where I'd be without YouTube Collaborators. Honestly, I probably would have given up on my channel by now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.